Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley Podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet.
They say home is where the heart is. So where do you keep your bed? And if home is where the heart is, then what do I do with this empty chest? They say home is where the heart is. So where do you keep your bed? And if home is where the heart is, it's a crying shame. I can't afford the rent. My name is Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley Podcast.
And I'm Guy Pigden. Now, was that artist you?
No, that was Dreamer's Disease by Let Live,
Okay.
who are a good metal band. If you're into metal, you should go check out Let Live. They're one of the few good American metal bands. Most of the good metal bands are from England. But every now and then America puts one out. They've put out two that I can recall the names of, King 810 and Let Live. Other than that, they've failed at metal, just as they've failed at gun reform and health for the masses. So,
just as they've failed as a country in crisis currently.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lexi Graves on the stream there. She's thrown up the half hairy
Emote.
special emote, the half hairy emote.
This emote is exclusively available to subscribers, people who pay a small monthly fee for the privilege of using it, and that is what Lexi Graves has done, and she's got the half hairy emote there. Shout out Tyler Adams as well on the live stream, who I've horribly offended with our intro because he is American.
Yes.
We've actually offended most of our listeners actually because most of our listeners are American. Chuck Black on the YouTube. Shout out Chuck Black. So yes, sorry about that. It's all part of the show, people.
Also, it's not that there's not awesome people in America. It's more the people at the top brass that are causing the issues currently.
Yeah.
Yes. So, welcome along to another episode. This is another quarantine episode. We had 100 days where we had no quarantine episode, although we did still do quarantine updates sometimes. We had 101 or 103 days, and then we were hurled back into lockdown, thrown back in. And
I said that I wasn't going to make it again. If I had to go through that again, I said I wasn't going to make it. And that's true. I'm not going to make it.
Sort of a Robin Williams-esque statement that you weren't going to make it through the next lockdown. So yes. So we also did give a job update last time, didn't we? On your job.
Yeah. So I had to do a pre-employment medical for a job which I'd already signed my contract for. It was all set up. It was ready to rock. All I had to do was pass the pre-employment medical.
You had your bags packed.
I did. My bags were like virtually packed. I had booked my ferry and everything. Went and got the car a wheel alignment because it was going to be driving from the one tip of the country to the other. And then it turned out that I also had to pass a pre-employment medical, which I did in every way, shape, and form, except for the THC test. They tested my blood to see my piss actually. To see if I had trace elements of THC in my body from weed I'd smoked the month before, which I thought was all very childish, but I did not think that I would fail. because I hadn't smoked for a couple of weeks, and I also didn't really think they'd give a shit if I did fail, because it's 20, and we're about to legalize it, and it's just such a childish thing to give a shit about. It's such a double standard. Like, they want us to do a drug and alcohol test, right? But the alcohol test is to see if I've got alcohol in my system that is affecting me, as in, am I drunk
Right
at
now.
my pre-medical?
Did you show up drunk for testing?
Exactly. And the answer obviously was no. But weed, on the other hand, they're checking to see if I smoked weed several weeks ago. It's the intoxication from weed is well and truly gone.
Yes.
It lasts a few hours, so it's just ridiculous that because they can test for it for up to a month, that they would test for it for up to a month. And so, there's not really any update at the moment. My plan hasn't changed since last episode, but basically they said, cool, well, we're taking back this offer of employment. You're out. You're out on your ear, you bum. You fucking stoner pothead. Get the fuck out of here, you underachiever. Which is ridiculous. I am an overachiever. Yes. And so, but this employer did say that so my plan is simply to pass a new test and go back and say, look, I'm not a habitual smoker. I'm not a regular smoker. I don't smoke weed regularly. This was a one-off. It was for the premiere of Immy the Vegan. During Dry July.
I would have argued my flatmate, and I inhaled it because my flatmate is a big time weed smoker, and I feel like I've come up short because I've been hanging around him.
I feel like a half truth. A half truth is a better policy. It's a better approach. Right. These half truths. There's a lot of little hints of truth in there. And so I feel like nobody's going to believe it. Oh, I walked through a marijuana cloud, and I must have passively inhaled some, and it showed up in my test. It just seems like a bit of a stretch, So I told him basically the truth, which was that it was Dry July. And something I do monthly, something I do annually. I do Dry July annually to raise money for people living with cancer. With cancer. This is why I do it. This is the kind of character I am. And so during that month, as it happened, a screening of a film, of a production I'd been working on for 3 years, finally came out. It's a cause for celebration. And on that night, I decided, while everybody else imbibed, that I would partake in the consumption of cannabis. And that is what I did. And I didn't. And this was before you'd even offered me a job. And then, 2 weeks later, I failed the drug test based off of this. But as you can see, this is all a big misunderstanding. It's a bit of a heavy-handed reaction. Now, he didn't reply for quite a long time. And then he replied today saying that, thank you for the honesty, but it doesn't negate the fact that you failed the first one, even if you passed the second one.
You fucking
so basically, you fucking bum. And so he's basically saying, if I go and get this other test on my own dollar, and it's going to cost $110, that I will... that it doesn't matter. I'll send him the test and, cool story, bro, but he doesn't care. I don't have the job. Now, what I want to know is, how long is this blacklist that I'm on? How long am I on a blacklist for smoking weed last fucking month? Like, am I applying for a job next year and not getting it because of this? This is ridiculous. Let me reapply, especially once it becomes legalized here anyway. But as far as he's concerned, I'm out. But nevertheless, my plan remains the same because I'm going to go in as soon as we get out of lockdown. I can't go and get my drug test until we're out of lockdown, which played very well into my hands because I need a little while to get it out of my system probably. But I can't go. But at the earliest possible convenience, I'm going to go and I'm going to get this test, and I'm going to send him the result anyway, with my final plea for clemency. And see what he says, because there's no point in not going and getting the test. I've already gone a month, without smoking any weed, and I'd hate to give my lungs and brain a break for no reason. Yeah. Right? Going through a lockdown all on my lonesome in this lonely basement, just me, myself, and I, and not even being able to do the one thing that brings me joy. And I'm doing it. I might as well. I'm so close now. I might as well go and get this test and send it on in anyway, spend my own money and see what he says. And I figure, in a month or so, he'll come around. I'll be like, look, man, what are you up to? Like, I'm still here. You still need me. You still got a role to fill. And as you can see, I have proven that I am not a habitual marijuana smoker.
You don't think he will have filled the role by then with someone else?
He could have. It's possible, but it is actually a reasonably difficult role to fill in the sense that it's not a very good job and it's not very good hours and it's not very many hours. So it's like, and I'm the perfect candidate. I want those hours. I want those not very good hours. They're perfect for me, but they're not perfect for most people. So, but it is possible, yes, absolutely, that he could have filled it. And this is the issue. This is the dilemma. So that's where we're at with that. It was a very depressing day the other day. I was close to Robin Williamsing it, which is a verb nowadays, or a noun, or whatever the fuck it is, a doing word. Yep. But I managed to make it through a very depressing day. I spent it crying by myself in this darkened basement with nobody to stroke my back here.
I mean, Robin Williams was suffering from a severe neurological disease that was, taking away his ability to perform and do what he loved. Whereas you smoked some weed one time.
Well, I am one of the last victims of prohibition. That's what I'll say to that. Now your
we all have our reasons.
Your microphone cracker was back for us.
Oh, the crackle is back,
which is excellent. So I'll let you fiddle around with that, and I'll say to the listeners that I did also get some good news today. So that's the bad news I got. Hey, whoa, Lexi Graves on the live stream. No, wait, Kiwi Jezza on the live stream has got the Harley half hairy emote, except for he's put sunglasses on it. I assume that's piracy. I assume he hasn't paid for that subscription, but I could be wrong. But it's cool either way, Kiwi Jezza. Now, I did get some good news today, which was that I've sent a contract, I've received it, I've signed it, I've sent it back, and I am officially going to Tokyo next year for the Olympic Games. And that is to work on the Olympic Games, not to compete in the Olympic Games. And I'm going to go there. I'm working on it, and I'm going to be putting graphics on television. That's going to be my gig over there. It's a pretty sweet gig, all expenses paid, good money. So here's just hoping they don't want to check if I smoked weed last month as part of their childish pre-employment